let's say that we ended up on the ground and we got lucky. And the attacker, the person who was aggressing against me, is laying on his back. And I end up sitting on his chest. And for those of you who already train a little jiu-jitsu, this is called the mount. It's the best position we can be in. I can punch Nate in the face. Even if Nate fully extends his arm, he can't punch me. I can punch Nate in the body. I can rain elbows down on Nate. I can headbutt Nate. Nate not only gets hit from the front, but then his head ricochets off the pavement in the back. This is devastating for him. Even if I don't want to punch, I can spread my hands wide and lower my chest and put my feet together and drive the weight of my hips into his diaphragm and make it very hard for him to move. But somehow, maybe I don't do any of those things the way that I should, or I make some kind of mistake. Maybe the person's just brutally strong. And they take me and they manage to throw me over, right? So this is an issue. Because you see, when Nate's on the bottom, I had all the advantage. But now I'm on the bottom, so we would assume that I have no advantage. The secret weapon of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the guard. The guard means that I take my feet and I cross them over Nate's back. And from this position, I can pull Nate close. If Nate's too close, I can push Nate away. I can also tip Nate from side to side just by using my legs. Right? If Nate were to crawl over my legs, he would be in the mounted position where he's straddling the chest. This is terrible. But you see, the mount, if we turn back over, is powerful because I surround his body and I have equidistant measurement. When I get turned over, even though I'm on my back, I just have the upside down version of the mount. I still control Nate's body with my legs. Now, like everything we do in jiu-jitsu, staying safe here is going to be about managing the distance. Nate may first, for example, just to create a scenario, Nate is perhaps just really angry, but he's not thinking about striking, so he grabs me around the neck and he chokes me, right? If I stay here maybe 2, 3, 4 seconds, I'm unconscious. Then he can do whatever he wants. I just open and I'm completely victimized. And this is a very common scenario. When people throw you on the ground, they choke you around the neck with both hands. If your legs are underneath them, you're in a tough spot, and there's an escape for that too, but right now we're focused here. If your legs are around their back and you can cross your feet, you can take your hands and hold their wrist and relieve a little tension by putting your elbows down against your rib cage. And then you'd like to push them away from you and drive your heels to the ground and lift your hips. Now the more Nate tries to choke me, right, he's too far away. And I can wait here. This is a very simple response to being choked when you're laying on your back on the ground. And this is the beauty or the speciality of Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is that we can fight successfully off of our backs on the ground. Right, so this is the first approach to the guard. Understand that you've been overpowered by an opponent somehow, and you end up on your back. Fortunately, your legs cross over that person's back. And because of that, you can pull them close to you, you can push them away, and you can move them side to side. Right? Get used to having the confidence to be able to do these movements alone. To create the self-defense scenario, it's very typical for someone on the top position with another person laying on their back to either punch or choke the person. Starting with the choke because it's a simple application. If I grab Nate around the neck and try to choke him, he's going to tuck his chin a little bit, make it harder for me to choke. He's also going to take his hands on my wrists and just pull a little open. Maybe he's not strong enough to remove them, but there's enough distance here that he relieves pressure. The main thing, though, was why can I choke him?
You're close. You're close enough.
I'm close enough. I can reach him. What if Nate could do something where I'm too far away to choke? He can. He can. You see where his legs are. They're on my hips. My hips are the place where my body bends in half. If he gets my hips away, my arms no longer reach. So he does two things. One is he drives the heels to the ground, and the other is he lifts the hips. I can no longer reach. I can no longer choke. I'm going to have to do something else. I'm probably going to punch him in the face, and that's what we'll do next. For now, you're on your back. You cross your feet over your partner's back. Your partner wraps the hands around the neck. You tuck your chin. You hold the wrists. You drive your heels to the ground. You lift your hips. All right? Let's go.